My name is Fitzgerald Omer. I'm a project manager with GCI Alaska.
My name is Alexis, and I'm a project manager in Chicago.
My name is Adaweze Madwako, and I'm a senior program manager here at Quintillion Subsea Networks.
I'm Jane Rouse, and I'm a project manager.
My name is John McVeigh. I'm the president of Bryce Civil Constructors.
Walter Allman, previous work titles as project engineer on a big industrial project.
In my industry, which is the construction industry, a beginning project manager makes probably between 90 and 160,000, depending on experience and the size of the projects they're managing. And you can make up to $300,000 as you get into mega projects.
You can see project managers such as myself and program managers earning between a minimum of 80K to about 175K annually. Then when you're talking about more experienced PMs, right, and those that are in leadership roles that are overseeing larger projects, they can earn upwards of that from 185 to 225 or even more.
So I've worked as a project coordinator and then a project manager in multiple industries, including finance, engineering, and most recently tech. In that role in tech, I earned $65 an hour or $120,000 per year. And I've recently obtained my PMP certification and read that PMP certified project managers actually make closer to 130 per year.
Well, my journey is becoming a project manager. I'm a trained architect. I went to school as an architect. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in architecture. And I worked a bit in architecture, designing, construction, procurement, and material specification. Then I came to the United States. I decided to do master's in project management from University of Alaska. Before then, I've had about University of Alaska project manager when I came in here first in 2019 when we moved from Texas to Alaska. And I wanted to do a PhD in sustainable architecture in University of Alaska, and that wasn't available. So I chose project management. The reason why I chose project management is because of the fact that with project management, it's very broad. You are able to transit and pivot from one specialty to another. All you need to do is to just know the skills and the techniques of project management. Then you begin to apply it in different areas where you want to go to. Like I came from construction and architecture background. Now I'm working in telecoms industry. So all you really need is just the skills, the techniques, and you're able to apply them in whatever environment you find yourself. So, and knowing fully well that I'm going to come into the United States, I decided to go into project management because I know that with that, I'm able to integrate myself into the system and I'm able to do a lot, and in that I'm able to grow and find a niche for myself, which is what I'm really doing today in the IT sector.
Yeah, I think I definitely, once I left, like I was a government contractor for 4 years, and once I left that realm and went into the startup space, that definitely pushed me towards project management. Something that if you work for startups, you'll hear time and time again is that you wear many hats. You never do just one job. You do 100,000 jobs all at once. So I think getting into a smaller company really pushed me towards project management because I was able to manage my own projects rather than depending on someone else to do it.
Out of university, I started out just doing projects as a worker, and I did that sort of thing for about 4 years when I became a project manager. At that time in my career, I was primarily consulting, so environmental regulations, construction regulations, and safety regulations. And that morphed into managing actual construction projects. And I continued as a project manager, then a program manager, and construction manager, on until I advanced to become president of the company, in which case I still manage projects, just I manage the portfolio of projects in a different way than I used to when I started out.
Every day I have my stand-up meetings with my team. We review what we did yesterday, where our projects are, then determine where we're moving forward to. And I'm working on about 11 projects. So it's tough to be able to keep track of all of them. So for me, as a project manager, take note of what I want to achieve, put them down, look at those I need to follow up with, look at the meetings I need to have, look at the installs that I need to do, what are the resources that I need, make sure that I have my meetings, and ensure that I track myself with time and calendar.
So working in that role, I was leading the drafting, execution, and publishing of a company-wide ESG report, which involved working with 20 plus teams across the organization to gather content, edits, and approvals for the material that we're going to publish in this report, which would be visible to our investors and kind of report on the environmental, social, and governance goals that we had hopefully achieved from the prior year's intentions. But having worked as a PM in several different industries, I can say that the workload usually varies day to day, but you can consistently expect to be monitoring deliverables through to completion. So there's going to be some kind of tracking system that you have in place, whether that's a spreadsheet or one of these new project management tools that are available to us, reporting project status to stakeholders, risks and issues. They'll be very interested in those as well. Chasing down approvals, like I mentioned, from various teams, facilitating meetings, resolving conflicts, and so on. And documentation requirements will vary again based on what kind of methodology you're using in your project.
Really got to keep up with things. You do a lot of planning, meetings. You know, the old adage, project manager, they spend 90% of their time communicating. So I learned that in school. So, and it's true, you really do. You're either writing emails or you're on the phone with somebody or you're talking to somebody or you're having meetings. It was quite varied. You're looking at the specifications on equipment. You're studying the design drawings, the layouts. You're having meetings with the contracts people, with the purchasing people. You're talking with your engineering, the people who are doing the design. You have meetings with the construction people who manage the construction activity. It's just a huge variety. No 2 days are the same.
I and the team that I work with, I always get this first note from, our director. He goes, "Good morning," with a really high sounding good morning. So we tend to kind of encourage each other. That's the first thing, because we have a lot of things that we're having to manage. So a typical day is coming together with the team. We always have several meetings, but we always leave time to kind of work on the different tasks and items that we have to drive and manage. We all know that one of the most important skills that a PM and a project manager needs to have is communication, and being able to communicate what the needs are and being able to set expectations.
Project management a lot of times is issue management. It very rarely goes as planned. And so how you respond and react to the issue is how people remember how well the project goes. The essence of it is grit, communication, and leadership. I think as a project manager, if you've got the leadership abilities to rally the troops and take in information in a responsible and respectful way, disseminate that information efficiently and effectively, and execute, then that gives you the ammunition necessary to take each issue as it comes up, resolve it, and move on.
Communication is key. being able to talk to a wide variety of people, regardless of their professional background, their academic background, client facing or internal, being just very comfortable and willing to discuss, as well as, time management, making sure that your meetings aren't going over because you're talking about things that aren't important, time boxing, leading the discussions are very important. And then organization, of course, you can't really have a messy, disorganized project manager. It's important to make sure you know everything that's going on at once. I would say another soft skill that's kind of important for PM work would be more multitasking. Being able to, juggle 100 different tasks at once is definitely something that is useful, and that gets easier, the later you are into your career.
You have to like doing that because a project is a temporary endeavor to produce a unique product, service, or result. I learned that in school. And I think you have to kind of like that sort of thing. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I remember when I was a operations engineering team lead, and all my engineers were technical engineers. And part of what they did was supporting projects. And I'd ask them, "Hey, what do you think about? Do you think you'd like to do project management?" No, they like doing the technical stuff. I decided I was the only one in the group who liked doing project stuff. I mean, I like doing the technical stuff as an engineer, but yeah. So you have to kind of like that sort of thing. And not everybody has the right makeup and mindset to do project management.
When I was in high school, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed by the vast number of options there were to choose from. You have your whole life ahead of you. I would consider project management because the skills are highly transferable. And so even if you don't know what industry you want to work in just yet, you may sort of find yourself working in an industry that's interesting to you down the road. And you may be able to pivot to something else using the skills that you've honed as a project manager, because really pretty much everyone is doing project management in one way or another.
I would tell every high school student to get involved in team activities. Sports, a lot of students are already involved in that, but group projects. I know one of the things I've noticed is when students are involved in group projects, it helps them develop skill sets of being able to communicate with other people. And being a lone wolf doesn't make a PM. So, and then I'll also ask high school students to seek opportunities to be leaders, as much as they can. Ask their teachers to put me in a leadership role. And I have to think about this one, but look for internships or volunteer works that they can do. Volunteer as much as you can and gain experience early. This will help them understand how projects work in the real world, because it's different. And finally, just build good habits and time management skills, and be involved in this kind of initiatives that they're doing right now. Stay engaged with what this program is all about, and I wish them luck. So that's pretty much what it is. And anything that you're doing that is the industry that you want to be involved with, just make sure that you're looking for opportunities to be involved in it as you're going through school.
Be open to learning, and something that I didn't learn until later in my career is be willing to ask for help. So open to learning could be that one goes through a different ladder than I chose, which was the university and graduate school and all that stuff. You can come through and become an excellent project manager by going through the trades and learning it that way. But one has to be curious enough to ask for questions, ask for the bigger picture, and understand why. That's an important element for us to understand how we can better take what we learned from one project and address that on the next project. From there, it really is open your mind to managing projects in whatever field interests you. It isn't just construction project management, or it just isn't cellular distribution project management. It's hospital, it is insurance, it is telecommunications, it's IT. No matter what interests you has an element of project management into it, and you can progress your way up that career trajectory to be managing projects in your future. Be curious.
Project managers build and maintain the world.